Good evening, everyone that's out there in the interwebs. It looks like we are all set and streaming, and hey, I'm happy. I'm happy. Are you happy? All right. Again, that intro was by Hoopy Star. Phenomenal. We appreciate it. Outro is also by Hoopy Star. So if you need anything like that, please just let us know, and we will go from there with it. We'll let you. We'll get you in touch with them. Get you some of them cool little sing songs and whatnot if you got a podcast or whatnot going on. Mr. Three, Chris,
What's up?
how you been doing?
Busy as
Yeah,
usual.
yeah,
Work is wiring me the f out, but doing what I can to keep moving.
yep. That's the name of the game these days, isn't it?
Yeah, getting tired of being a slave driver to corporate America.
Yeah.
How
We
about
need
you? What
to.
have you been up to? What are you doing?
Shit, I just been working my ass off just like everyone else around here, trying to pay for the gas so I can get to work and come home.
Yeah.
When you think about it, I gotta go to work so I can pay for the gas so I can go to work.
That's how they keep you in.
Hmm. I think we should probably do our own thing one day. You know,
You think?
I think
Hey,
so. I think
yeah,
we should.
good.
I think if we did our own thing, we would actually probably have as much fun as we have on this damn show. It's extremely enjoyable. What is that merch you got on your shirt right there? Vice Grip Garage. Hold
Yeah,
on.
buddy.
You don't work for them.
Nope. But god damn it, if his stuff's not fucking comfy, well, that wasn't planned.
I got the green one. You got the black one on, or you got
Yep.
the green one on.
Nope, it's black.
I grabbed the black one and went, nah, tonight's a green night.
Mine's black. I got the black checkered with the
Yep.
gray, and then black with gray. Figured, hell, that's gonna match.
Mhm. We got Shelly Shaka in there. How you doing? How you
You
doing?
know, and it's the weather here is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's been cold. That's why I got the flannel on. Here it is, May, and I still don't have the blankets out of the living room.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
neither
not,
do we. But I think that's kind of my fault because I like to keep the temperature in the house right about 68 to 72 in between there.
I don't need blankets for that.
That's just where I keep it at. So Katie is a little on the chilly side every now and again because of it.
Well, when you're sitting idle, it does tend to get a little chilly at that point because you're
Yeah,
not doing anything to keep the blood
absolutely.
flow.
Um, but outside of that, what have I been doing? Well, I've been doing a little bit of research on some of the SCOTUS stuff. I've been doing a little research on the ATF stuff. Uh,
How's the before we get into all that bullshit?
yeah,
How's the leg?
leg hurts like shit. Uh, I still don't know if I would have rather had it been a rupture or just go with the tear. The rupture would have been definitely surgery in order to repair it. This tear, though, it's like a uh, constant poker, just a constant poker.
Why? Why would you tell us to f off? That's not very nice.
Yeah, why would why?
What we do to you, Miss Bond?
Can I just say to you guys, f off? What?
She's mad about something.
You must have done something, because I know I ain't done shit.
Well, you notice it says guys, Guy apostrophe S.
Well, there's no apostrophe, but I'm guessing that because there's no apostrophe, it's definitely plural.
What are you drinking, anyways?
What?
What are you drinking?
Let's see. I've been working in my mom's yard trying to clean up all that disaster. And I look like a freaking break. She's talking about how we're still in flannel and stuff like yeah. I'd probably tell us to fuck off too. Um, what am I drinking?
Can you tell what I'm having yet?
I'm going to drink some Blade and Bow. Um, I'm going to keep it simple tonight. A little bit of Blade and Bow for myself. What are you drinking? Well, what the hell is that? Jameson Orange. I was going to say, what the hell is green with orange? Are you doing a creamsicle?
Yes, I am.
And
There's a couple of shots ish.
oh, Pop says it's 102 there. Yeah, I can see why she's telling us to fuck off.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't bring us anything to stir this thing with.
I was gonna say use your finger, but you're missing one. So
I'm going to do the old school way. I'm going to grab a screwdriver and just.
There you go.
Even though it's not a screwdriver to censor the drink.
Well,
I guess what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
that's what I keep getting told, but I don't know. This leg isn't making me any stronger. Fuck, it hurts.
It will.
Well, they said
no,
for months.
No, it won't either, because I don't know how long it's been since I've had my damn surgery, and my left leg is still nowhere near what it should be.
That's the thing is I don't need to have surgery on it. I just gotta let it heal.
Well, they went in and just did a couple of very tiny incisions, and
yeah,
they took a third of it out. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I got my old trusty, very well loved used copper 32 ounce.
So, I really don't have any videos. I didn't pull any videos because it was more of an informational side of the house. What I was looking to do, more of a conversational piece. I suppose I could find a video here or there, something funny. But
did you happen to hear about? I guess it's the FFL not having to go, like a consumer like you and I would not have to go directly to the FFL office anymore. Well, they could actually send it. They're working it in the ATF right now to where you pass the background test, blah, blah, blah. I believe it gets shipped to the FFL, and as long as you're in the same state, the FFL can now ship it to your house.
Yes, I've been looking for the finalized documents on that, and right now I haven't seen any finalized anything on those 34 rules.
Right, I don't think it is yet, but I think it's in the works.
And that is something they were talking about, which is kind of cool. Which is something that I was gonna probably go over here soon. But no, that's definitely something that they were talking about, which was, hey, I had to go to my FFL, fill out all the paperwork, and do all of that. All right, I had to face show ID, the whole bit, and then I sent that off to wherever I was purchasing the firearm from, and then it obviously got shipped to the FFL. Well, they've already seen me face to face. They've already got the documents. They've already done all that. They can then ship it to the house.
I can see, like, so in my case, when I had mine done, because I've had a couple of them done now, I did all that work. Like, I purchased the Pew Pew online.
Yeah.
Told them what FFL guy to send it to. Then I would go there to the FFL guy, which would be my guy, Kent.
Yeah.
And there is where I would present my driver's license.
Right.
Fill out all the forms and everything. And then they would do the background there. And then as long as everything came back, then.
See, I did all of that ahead of time. But it's also because I had a concealed carry license, it made it so much easier. I went down there and said, hey, look, I want to buy this from so-and-so. And this is what I'm going to do. I want to fill out all the paperwork. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Sent it off to them. and then they sent it directly to them. I didn't have to do any back and forth type of thing other than I went to my FFL, got the information I needed. They got the information from me. I then purchased said firearm, had that shipped to them, and then when it came in, I then went to them and picked it up. This is supposed to eliminate the whole aspect of you having to go there to pick it up. Once it gets to the FFL, provided that you probably pay for the shipping at that point.
Sure.
Okay. And the way I'm looking at it is,
I would think at some point you would have to go to your FFL anyways for them to have your stuff on file.
right, you have to, you probably would, yeah.
And
Initially.
that's why it seems a little weird that you would go to your FFL guy and say, hey, I'm going to buy this, when, like for me, I initially just bought it, had it sent there.
Well, my FFL requested me to let them know in advance.
I did.
Okay. And because I let them know in advance, I also finished all the paperwork in advance.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to do that. I just, hey bud, I'm ordering this and it's being sent to you. And he's like, yep, cool.
Yeah.
And then
well,
when it showed up at his place, he would text me or call me, whatever, and then I would go down there. You know, it's like 15 minutes from here or whatever.
Yeah, mine's about 15 minutes away. I think that instead of me paying to have it shipped the 15 minutes, I'm just going to drive over there. But you got some people that their FFL is an hour away. Okay. And if it's an hour away, if I don't have time to go down there, but I want it, I'm going to pay to have them ship it. So
yeah, that's like 2 hours by the time it's in it. So, but I mean, I guess I can understand that. It's just weird that, I guess, because mine worked different than yours. I just basically I found an FFL guy.
Oh, once my stuff's on the books, they've got it.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's got mine too. It's just I always gave him. I purchased it and then said, "Hey, this is where I want it to go." I let him know. He was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then I introduced myself when I met him. Blah blah blah. And then I went down there.
I've been dealing with
it. Every time I do it, it's the same way. It's I purchase it, it gets shipped to them. I go down there and I obviously have to show my driver's license and fill out the paperwork and do all the hoopla stuff. I've never had to go down in advance, fill out any paperwork, and then it's done, go back, and then I have to drive back to him to get it. It's just, it got shipped to him. I go down there. And I guess the downside to that would be is if for some reason something unbeknownst to me happens, even though I've already paid for it, it's shipped to him. If something were to happen as far as government screws up somewhere or I screw up and now I can't own it because I'm not allowed to, he gets to keep it.
Pretty much.
Well, he does.
No, for mine wasn't that I had to go down there in advance. Mine was, like I said, I've been dealing with these guys for many years. I went down there and I said, hey, I want to do this. I know that they want to know what FFL I want it sent to. What's the process? They told me what the process was. I said, well, since I'm already here, can we just do the paperwork side of it right now? They're like, absolutely. So that all you've got to do is come in when it shows up, and there it is. I did all of the paperwork right there because I went down there and I talked with them. Then I took off, ordered it. It got sent there. I picked it up as soon as they called me and told me it was in, and it was done.
Now, are you doing that every time?
I'm not buying a whole bunch of stuff.
I'm just saying
in that regards. No,
I'm not either, but I have bought a few things.
What I'm doing is I call them because all of my stuff is already on file and it's all updated. I also go there because it's a range and I go shoot there anyway. So my stuff's already on file with them. So I just called them in advance and I say, hey, look, I'm going to be putting an order in and it's going to come to you guys. And they went, thanks for letting us know. We'll be on the lookout for it.
That's what I'm doing.
And yeah. And then when I go down there, they just ask for my ID, look at it. There you go. Bob's your uncle, and off you run.
It kind of sucks doing that. But, because my FFL guy actually sells stuff. Like he sells ammunition and weapons and things of that nature. And
Yeah.
it's, a wide variety of stuff. And it sucks doing that because I like supporting my small town stuff, my small town peeps. Especially, I would love to be able to support Kent, but sometimes it's too hard to for these smaller companies to compete with these larger companies that have things. So it's like, man, I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like I got a good deal on it. I got to, you know what I mean? They're still getting some money, but I think one of the things I really like the most right now is I just got to get to the point where I can afford it. I really want a can.
Yeah. Well, now that apparently they have a $0 tax stamp.
Right. Yeah. So there's no tax stamp now to get your.
No, there is a tax stamp. You just don't have to pay for it. You don't pay the $200.
Right. You still have to go through the same basic background checks and all that.
Yep.
But maybe that's one thing I'll do to support him. Just because he's been such a good dude. It's been a minute since I've gotten anything and gotten it through him as far as that's concerned. But, I think because I really want one for my HEK 22.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I just got I don't know if I told you, but I just got 1,000 rounds of subsonic.
Oh, nice.
So I'm super excited about that just because,
where did I put it? It's up here. Give me a second. So I get my ammo from a couple of different places.
And guess where one of the places is?
Where?
One place I get mine from is from Phoenix. Well, Arizona anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, ships out of there. I think it's 2-shot ammo.
Okay. So I haven't gotten any from there.
Yeah, it comes out of I want to say Tucson?
Probably maybe. Is. That's where a lot of them are. So I actually get some of mine from Phoenix Ammo, but they're out of a state up north. Phoenix, Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Now, I started going with them back when they had that ammo shortage. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would end up happening is they would, because they do all their stuff. They do 5.56, 223, 9mm, 45, 44. I think 308. Anyway, they don't do all of the rounds, but they do a good group of rounds that we typically use. And we got on their mailing list. The day before, they would shoot us an email saying, hey, we're going to do an ammo drop tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
And then the day of, we're going to do an ammo drop at this time. Because as soon as it dropped, it was gone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, the cool thing about these guys was they weren't raising their prices at all. They were building their supply, their stockpile, putting it on sale, okay, for everyone to buy, and it was just going. All the other places, they would be doing that, but they would, instead of being, let's say it's $100 for, 200 rounds, okay, they would be charging, 150 for the 200 rounds.
Nice.
No.
Yeah, well, no, not nice, but
they're
They were
raising
raising. Right.
where Phoenix Ammunition, they weren't, and they were keeping it all like, hey, we're not raising our prices. We just got to have time to make it, and once we have made some, we're gonna put it on sale. And the way that you guys can get it is just be part of the
Mailing group.
yeah, which
That's
is
cool.
awesome. And
You'll have to send me that so I can start getting some from them.
yeah, well, the other one that I'm going to be looking into is called Ammo Seek. AMMOSEEK.
Yep. I think
And,
my other brother,
yeah.
Wes told me about that, or you did, one of the two.
Well, I
AmmoSeek.com.
it wouldn't have been me. It would have been probably him because I just found out about this. Apparently,
Oh,
this Ammo Seek searches for the ammo that you want and gets you all the pricing. And then
oh,
when you order it, yeah, you pay them a little stipend or whatnot, but you're getting all this ammo that's on sale or whatever the case is, because they're the ones that go in and find it and break it down for you. It's almost like a vacation planner or a travel agent planner that
right.
goes in and gets you all the deals and then show it to you, and you got to give them a little bit, but you're getting all the deals. It's kind of like that for ammo. So
I'm trying to remember where trying to remember where I got my. I think it was True Shot, is where I got it. I'm trying to remember what I paid for it.
paid for
The 1,000 rounds that I just. Oh, it's right here. Maybe.
well,
Um,
what was the
it's
caliber?
CCI. Do you know CCI? Is that an
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
It was 22 LR, 40
thousand,
grain,
1,000 rounds.
subsonic. Yep.
Okay, so
One.
you probably paid let's see, 1,000 rounds. You probably paid $85.
No,
What'd you pay?
I paid 118 for it,
Oh, okay. It's still
and then
not
of course,
bad.
you got shipping. So uh, I think I wound up paying somewhere around 146 or 147 bucks for it.
Okay.
But
Yep. I
I
get
think I'm
all.
close to 10,000 rounds now.
Yep.
Close to it.
On your 22 LR.
Yeah, I've got 90,000 to go.
Yeah, exactly. See that's called life goals, ladies and gentlemen. You have a particular uh, caliber that you want to have a decent amount of, and
Mine's
I
100K.
yeah, of the 22 LR.
That's what I want.
That way you can
And I would prefer that not to be in a combination of subsonic. So when I say I want a 100K of 22 LR, I want it to be in standard 22 LR, not subsonic rounds.
yeah,
So I wanted the subsonic just because
giggles.
S's and G's exactly.
Yep, shits and giggles.
So
So, but yeah, let's see. Anything else going on this week? Interesting news or whatnot? Let's see. There was something out there. What was it that was? I mean, yeah, they released some UFO files, which was kind of BS. They're like, well, can you hear stuff?
yeah.
You hear all the dogs?
It's
Yeah.
all good.
So I guess they released a whole bunch of files on UFOs, and I took a couple of looks at it and went, "This is the same shit we've been looking at for years." What they release? Oh, it came from the government instead of someone's. It was the same exact stuff. Little white dot going across the sky, or a little white dot going across the ground because you're up in the sky looking down at it. Don't know what it is. Well, no shit, it's a UFO, unidentified flying object. So I'm looking at that and like, you could have.
That's anything.
Exactly. It could have been someone slingshotting a turd across the frickin' sky and it's a UFO. So
Don't sweat it, sis. It's all good. I got that shit happens here too.
I try
Gotta
to.
have it.
Well, here's the issue. Okay, we got Ava, and she's just a freaking sweetheart and the nicest little puppy. Uh, she is a freedom fighter, but she's okay. But now we got two Xenas, and they're both blockheads. And a squirrel farts outside, and they go nuts. So,
Well, the squirrel farts because of the nuts, or the squirrel farts because it gets a nut.
well,
So wait a minute. Where did the second Xena come from? Is it somebody you're watching a dog for?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's another blockhead, but you get two Xenas together, and they're trying to be the best Xena out there, and a squirrel
Yep.
farts, and guess who's barking? So,
Did you get those 2 photos I sent you, or 3?
I did.
At some point we'll go across that.
Well, let me. Can you send it to the email? If not, I can.
I mean, I can.
Well, that's how I'm going to
Okay.
have to pull it up because pulling it up on my phone isn't going to work. uh, sure. Over here blaming on Ava. You see what she says there? Ava thinks that people aren't allowed to walk in front of our house and got the two Xenas up and going. I don't think that's what happened. Nut farts are the worst. You're right, they are. That they are.
I'll see if it'll send. Let's go.
Let me do it right quick.
I already did it. I already did it.
What'd you do?
I sent it.
Did you? I don't got nothing. Who'd you send it to? To yourself?
Sent it. I don't think so. I thought I sent it to the.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. See, it takes a minute.
Not
Didn't even
usually.
take a minute. Didn't even take a minute. Come on.
Let's see here. Ooh,
That was like 20 seconds.
which one do you want? Oh my lord.
Do you even have a clue what you're looking at?
I do.
What is it?
Well, this one here looks like a uh, where the shaft lays down in.
The crankshaft?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You got part of it. But what
And
is it?
this right here looks like something that's bent to shit. So I'm going to guess that is the tube for the oil to recirculate.
That is the pickup tube, the oil pickup tube, yes.
See, I'm not
Very
complete.
good.
I'm not completely stupid. Just
Dude,
half.
you're awesome.
So, and people are like, "Why isn't he showing us a picture?" All right, let me just give me a second. Is it this one? No, this one. Yeah, that one. We're gonna do that.
Show the. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Any way to enlarge that? Yeah. Now go down to the bottom. So there's supposed to be a coating on that, and it's like a copper brass coating, and that's what they call the babbitt. That is not there anymore. The bearing is completely toast.
So, is this what the crankshaft resides in?
Yes. Now, if you
Okay.
happen to look on the left side, see how that does not fit the bearing cap anymore?
Wait, why is that? Isn't that's supposed to be inside there?
Yeah. So is down below it. It's all supposed to be conformed. See how the right side fits pretty okay?
Is
And
it
the
supposed
left
to be pushed away like that?
It's supposed to be touching on both sides. Everything is supposed to touch.
Flush, right? Okay.
Correct. And if you happen to look on the outer edge there, the bearing is actually rolled over on the edges.
Whoa.
Yeah. See
That,
how it kind of rolled over?
it's like it's been hit with a ball peen hammer.
That's what happens when a crank flops around in there.
Well, that's not
Surpri-
happy.
and surprisingly, that motor did not knock.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Are
You know
you
what the
serious?
best? You know what the best part is?
What's that?
I had to put all that back in.
Hold up. Hold up. You had to put what what I'm looking at back into the motor.
Oh yeah. See, none of that is supposed to be grooved. It's okay to have a little bit of grooving, maybe just like where a piece of trash has gone through. You can see a little bit of the lines.
Okay.
That that you and maybe just barely feel it with a fingernail. That was deep enough to where a screwdriver run across that. You could play a song with it. That's uh, so. I don't know if I remember. I don't remember if I ever said anything weeks back about the head job that I had to do.
Okay.
Actually, I did because it was this same. This is the same engine that came from the motorcycle shop.
No.
So that truck actually came back up and running. I got it back up and running, and it was doing great. The only problem is it didn't have great oil pressure.
Well, I
It,
wonder if this had any issue.
well, that was a huge part of it. So the thing is if it had fresh oil in it, it would have about 56 to 57 psi oil pressure.
Okay, and what should it have?
Uh, Initially, on first startup, it should have probably 60 plus,
Okay.
and then as the engine warmed up, it should average out to about 30 to 40 psi at running temperature.
Okay. Makes sense.
At running temperature, this one only had about it steadily decreased over time, which this would tell you why, because it would get worse and worse and worse because the damage gets worse and worse and worse the longer you run it. So initially, this thing started out with about 50 to 56 psi, and then
Drop down like 10.
it dropped down to probably around 36, 38 initially. And then as a week or two went by, it actually dropped down to about 18.
No kidding.
Yep. So unfortunately, and that's the pickup tube for picking up the oil and bringing it to the rest of the motor. If you can zoom in on that, which I don't know if you can, right there on the left there, that gray spot, that's all metal. That's all bearing. That's all bearing material. And I wished I would have got a little bit better picture of the actual right there where your pointer's at. That's the drain plug.
Is that
That
like that's
that's
the drain plug? Drain plug?
that's the drain plug. So mind you, this is the oil pan and pickup tube and windage tray all taken out, sitting on my bench. That's not in the motor. But all of that material is sitting there. There's a whole lot more material underneath that pickup tube, and there's quite a bit of material actually in the screen of the pickup tube, which I didn't get a picture of, which is, see the flat round circular deal there at the end right closest to the pickup tube? There's actually a screen there, a metal screen. And
Oh,
it was full of metal too.
good grief.
Where's the other picture of the other bearing? Because that first one was the front bearing, number one.
This one?
Uh,
Because you only sent me 3 pictures.
so that one is number four. That's number one. So that's
Oh,
number one bearing cap, which was the one that. So
yeah.
initially, what brought this on was his oil pressure.
Yep.
So we thought that the oil pump was bad, And so it's a process just to even get the oil pan off.
Okay.
So once I actually got the oil pan off, got the pickup tube and the windage tray out, um, well, because you have to take those items out anyways in order to change the oil pump. As soon as I seen the number one bearing, which is that one there, I knew something was wrong. The other reason I knew something was wrong was because the first time that I actually took the oil pan off, because when we first initially fired it up, it had zero oil pressure. They didn't get the pickup tube O-ring and the tube and everything all set up right, so it wouldn't pick up oil.
Okay.
So when I initially, now mind you, this is a shop that had sent it to us because they couldn't get it to start. Once I finally got it figured out, which I pretty well figured out within the first 30 minutes, when we actually did get it fired up and I seen there was zero oil pressure, we shut it off. So then I had to take the oil pan back out of it. And that's when I found the pickup tube wasn't installed correctly to pick up the oil. Yeah, if you see those little flakes there, that one there, that's all bearing material that's loose and sitting in those grooves. So, anyways, I don't know exactly where I was going with this other than um, if
Don't let
you,
a motorcycle shop fix your car.
well, that too, but so it didn't really alarm me the first time I took the oil pump or the oil pan off because there was some bearing material down there, or there was some metal down there.
Yeah.
Um, Now, mind you, they told me that they'd never had this thing started and fired up, but how can you have material like that down there if you've never started the vehicle up with a
If
brand
it's
new
never
oil?
turned over.
Well, and they said, hey, you need a new oil pan because your oil pan is about to rust through. So they put a brand new oil pan in it. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine, whatever. When I took the oil pan off initially
Yeah.
to fix the pickup tube because they didn't have it in there right, there was bearing material in it or metal material in it. So I'm thinking, okay, well, whatever. Maybe it was just the oil coming down, flushing all of the initial metal shavings from the cam because they had to put a cam in it. I thought, okay, well, maybe it was just a little bit of material from that.
Right.
Well, now that I think about it, as I'm having to take this all back apart again, I see all that material again. I'm going, there's no way that they didn't have this thing running prior to that because I can understand having a little bit of that stuff, but it was more than what it should have been just by dumping oil in and flushing that stuff down to the bottom.
I was gonna
Anyways,
say,
long story short is it's a Hemi, and if you develop a Hemi tick, there's two ticks. There's an exhaust tick and then there's a cam tick.
yeah.
If it's a cam tick, do not keep driving that goddamn truck or car, whatever one comes with the Hemi or
Okay.
Jeep. Because if you do, all that material goes down and it starts running through your bearings as the motor's running and cycling the oil. And it turns around and does that damage to your bearings. Once
And
you've done that, you're done.
so there's that one, and what was the other one?
Exhaust?
Yep. So how can you tell the difference between the two?
When you fire it up, it sounds like an exhaust leak because it'll go every time it fires.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's
So,
good to know.
so right now we're waiting to find out. Now, mind you, this guy's already got 8 or 9 grand in this whole ordeal, and now he's
Yeah.
looking at another probably close to 8 or 9 grand in it to get another motor put in it, a used motor at that.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like fun.
No, and to be quite frank, it's a 2013, I think.
No. Okay.
it's not really worth the money. But I guess it depends on the sentimental value, and it depends on whether or not you want to have new car payments.
Yeah. Or whether you want to go find another used vehicle and roll the dice on that one.
Yep. Unfortunately, it sucks, and it's part of the problem is the vehicle was driven on a cam that was going bad because of the lifters and oiling issues.
Yeah.
And if you keep driving it, it's going to take those bottom bearings, which is the crank bearings. It's also going to probably take the rod bearings as well. Never pulled a rod bearing, which is probably why it never had a rod knock.
Hmm.
But
Makes sense.
with that being said, uh, if you keep driving it like that, you're going to cause damage, and then you're going to be in for a fairly expensive uh, procedure. You're going to be in for a fairly expensive problem.
So I've got a hole in my radiator. I should not drive it. I'm kidding. I'm not driving it.
Well, here's the deal. No, you shouldn't drive it because it could cause overheating issues, which then puts a bunch of stress on it. Okay,
Yep.
if you're not going very far, fine, whatever. Just make sure it's full. You know,
Fill it
but
up when I get there. Fill it up when I get back.
in your case, you can't do that,
Nope.
so probably not. But yeah, no.
No, don't drive it. All right. Let's what should we get into next? Supreme Court?
I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of doing airbags in cars.
Yeah. All right. So typically when the Supreme Court makes a decision on something, it doesn't always go the way that we want it. Occasionally it does, and that's fine. But a lot of times that has a lot to do with, is there enough justices on one side of the issue to outweigh the justices on the other side? And people go, well, we got the right leaning, or we got the left leaning, or whatever. And usually when it comes to anything to do with the Second Amendment at all, it's usually split. If you're on the left, you vote left. If you're on the right, you vote right. And even as the justices, who are supposed to be impartial and supposed to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-biased when it comes to looking at the law. They should be looking at the law that was passed and going that direction with it. A lot of times they will, whether it's on the right or the left, they will tend to go that direction that they believe in versus what's actually in the law books. Now, on occasion, you're going to get one or two of them that will flop one side or flop the other side, but that's just politics in general, and they really shouldn't be doing politics. They should be doing law, but it is what it is. Well, in this particular instance, it was 9-0. All 9 of them said, well, government's gone too far, which is never like the case, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment. Anything, Second Amendment.
Yeah, wasn't that the first time?
I don't think it was the first time, but it's the first time in a really long time, if it wasn't the first time. So, all right. This particular one that they went 9-0 on was a ruling with the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. Um, it significantly expanded gun rights by striking down proper cause requirements for concealed carry permits. So, proper cause, New York has it, California has it, where, oh, yeah, yeah, we'll give you a concealed carry permit, prove to us that you need it.
Right.
Okay. Which is not the Second Amendment at all.
No.
But that's what the states have been running with for a really long time. And up until it got to the Supreme Court, uh, it's been, oh, okay, well, New York, Chicago, California, they've all got this, oh, prove to us that you need it mentality, and then we'll let you have it. And it's like, no, but it's meant to be.
No, fuck no. That's not how the Second Amendment works.
It is how it works if you don't get it up to the Supreme Court to tell you that's not how it works, because that's what they do.
But that's not how it started out.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Yeah.
That's the reason why we have the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms.
Yeah. Against enemies, foreign and domestic, and da 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 da. So,
especially domestic.
So, what they did was they established the Second Amendment protects the individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside of the home, forcing states to remove their may issue, that, yeah, we might issue it to you, to a shall issue.
Sorry, guys.
Now you have a screwdriver.
Well, I used the Phillips the first time. Now I've got a flathead.
So, going back to freaking fuzzy again. There we go. So, most of your states are off of a shall issue. You go in, you pass a background test, okay, and you pay your little thing for the background test and whatnot, and then they issue a concealed carry permit. It is, as long as you pass background test, we're going to give it to you, type of deal. States like California, states like New York, states like Illinois, they had prerequisites for you to get these. Some of them was, yeah, we'll give it to you, but you need to prove to us that you need it, not want. It's that you need it, and then we'll give it to you. And it's up to us to decide if your need is valid enough. And the Supreme Court basically said, go fly a kite. That's not how it works. Change your rules because you're unconstitutional. I think this is a very good step in the right direction for those states, having this struck down, because that also takes some of the legality away from, oh, well, we're going to issue this to you, provided that you go and you take 8 hours of firearm training. And you and I discussed this last show. I think firearm training is good.
I agree 100%.
But you don't need to go to a government facility in order to get said firearm training. There are many different qualified people that can teach you. Government is there to help facilitate you doing other things, but firearm training is not part of their purview, or should not be part of their purview, based off of the Second Amendment. And I think that's going to open up more avenues for striking down some of these BS laws or regulations that these other states.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's where my biggest thing with the Supreme Court is, hey, guess what? States, get rid of your BS prerequisites, turn it into a shall issue, and get the hell out of the way. You're blocking the Second Amendment. Unconstitutional.
Hey,
So,
Roger. Good to see you, bud.
the basic impact of this entire thing was it allowed law-abiding citizens to obtain concealed carry permits in states that previously had strict discretionary licensing laws. So, and this ruling here actually helped with one of the other things that the ATF did, okay, which was if they passed the background check, and the background check can only, typically is less than a couple hours.
Oh, yeah.
The wait period of 3 to 5 days becomes null and void because that is a limitation on you getting your Second Amendment right.
Well, what they're hoping for is for you to just give up, is what it is.
Well, they also have they called it the cooling down period. I go and I wanted to buy a pistol. Okay. I gotta wait 3 to 5 days. Well, it's for those people that were, I'm gonna go buy a pistol, I'm gonna go shoot someone. Well, yeah, but that would also be on the part of the gun owner, like the gun shop, if you're trying to buy it. If this guy comes in and he's hot and heavy and he's all sorts of pissed off and everything, maybe a little bit of discretion because you don't have to sell a firearm to someone. It's just like if you go into a store, okay?
I mean, sure, but
You go into any store, they have the right to refuse service. Why? I didn't like his demeanor. I didn't like the attitude. I didn't like something was a little off. Do you have the right to engage in commerce with whoever you want? It's your business, okay? They're not stopping anything constitutionally, okay? Because they can go somewhere else.
I think, but also on top of that, there's nothing that says they can't go to a private party and just buy one either.
Correct. There's not.
So,
okay, but the whole 3 to 5 day waiting period was what the government hid behind.
Sure.
To say, oh, the cooling down period.
It was them to go, okay, well, it's going to take. That's 3 to 5 days is basically like saying, it's basically a buffer saying, well, maybe in 24 to 48 hours they'll change their mind. Anyway, so
yeah.
With that being there, if a guy wanted to just go out and buy something, he'd be like, well, it's going to take 3 to 5 days for me to even get approved for it or whatever. Is it really worth it at that point? Because we're in such the way that our society works at this point is Amazon's a huge part of that. We can have it same day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Same thing with stores. You're so used to going in and just buying it, and you get it right then and there, and you're done. People are going to go, well, it's going to take too long to get it, so never mind.
It was also a form of control that the U.S. government or the individual states wanted to impose.
Absolutely, it is. It's a huge control factor.
So, but for one of the first times in a really long time, I think that the Supreme Court as a whole got something right.
Absolutely.
So, kudos to them. And I think it's kind of cool as far as the Second Amendment goes that they actually looked at it and went, yeah, that's not what this means.
You're overstepping.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of neat, which doesn't happen all that often. You don't have.
No, it's good. It's good that we got some people in there that actually know what the hell's going on.
Oh, it makes you wonder how far away from what it should be it has gotten for all 9 of them to go, y'all overstepped.
Yeah.
Because there's some really left leaning people on the Supreme Court, and even they went, yeah, you overstepped. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think in general it's just, I mean, they went way too far, and
Oh,
they've
yeah.
been way too far for way too long.
Well, you got like Chicago, you got to get, I think it's called a Voight card or something like that. You got to go and jump through hoops to get the card in order for you to get your, permission to have a pistol inside city limits and all sorts of other stuff. And it's like, who the hell do you guys
Well,
think you are?
and then at what point does like for the states that allow you to
Yeah,
possess your firearm, Arizona, West Virginia, you know,
Georgia.
Georgia, all
Yeah.
those states that allow you to do that. Maryland is one of them. New York is probably, I think, another one where you're not supposed to. At what point can we not have to worry about traveling from state to state to state?
Oh, they're working on that actually. They're absolutely working on that.
Well, and I hope that they are, because I'm just going to point it out there point blank. I could give two F's. I'm going to travel through wherever, whenever, and that's
Well,
just the way it should be.
you're right. That's the way it should be. But that's the problem with that is each state has the ability to have their own laws and regulations. Now, just
But
because not when it comes to the right to bear arms or any of the other amendments that we have, I don't disagree with
because you
that,
should not be infringing on that.
I don't disagree with that. However,
There's no difference between Alabama, Georgia, Arizona, Florida, Alaska. There's no difference between those states. You can have the same issues whether you're in this state or that state. You should
yes,
be able to do whatever you want as far as your Second Amendment. Now, I'm just going to speak on the Second Amendment, but I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about your First, your Fourth,
mhm,
whatever. Uh, you should be able to, and I'm just going to speak on the current subject because that's what we're on. You should be able to have the right to bear arms no matter where you're at in the United States. Okay.
agreed. Here's the problem that you're going to have. It's one thing to have that mentality and have that belief. It's another thing to try and take that mentality and that belief into another state that doesn't have that same mentality and belief and expect to walk away without anything happening. When you have that mentality and you have that belief, and you're going to engage in that activity in a state that you know is anti Second Amendment, you need to have the 100% mentality of, I am going to take this as far as I can, and I'm going to spend every last penny that I have in order to take it as far as I can so that I can get it in front of the Supreme Court and have them rule on it, knowing that at the end of everything, I am going to be broke and I am going to be basically a martyr because they're going to force me to go to court over and over and over again until I can get it to the Supreme Court. And I'm going to spend all my money
Okay.
on lawyers and all that doing that.
Sure. That is the way it is right now in these times. But
Correct.
we
But it's
had that set in place back in
76.
1776. Right. Which means that all of the 50 states that were there, or 48 states, or whatever,
Well, back then it was
oh,
only 13.
well, okay. But my point being is back at that point in time, everybody was on the same page. Okay?
Yeah,
Which means you could travel pretty much anywhere and you had the right to bear arms anywhere.
correct.
That was what that was about.
Yes, I agree.
So with each state that came on and with it, they got the same Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, 16th
Yeah,
Amendment, First Amendment. They got all the same amendments each time.
every
Everybody
time they
was
became a
just as
state,
happy. At what point did it change?
when you had individual states,
It was well. I guess my point is each state wasn't like that initially. At some point, it changed
right? Well,
because somebody.
you have New York.
I don't like guns.
Oh yeah,
Shut up, pussy.
you
That's
have New
all I'm
York.
saying.
You have New York that had their deal. Okay, they
What I'm
were
saying is initially didn't start off that way.
no, it didn't.
So
But it takes all it takes is for one of the states to make a rule, make a law. Okay,
unconstitutional at the time because it affected your Second Amendment, First Amendment, Fifth Amendment,
you're
Fourth
right.
Amendment. Unconstitutional.
But it never got to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to tell them you done fucked up. It has been allowed to run that way for a very long time because it never made it to the Supreme Court because someone didn't have the time and the money to actually ride with it all the way to the Supreme Court.
And they shouldn't have to.
Shouldn't have to and doing are two different things.
I understand. But the point being is you should not have to do that ever.
Oh, I
Because
agree.
those are just there for the people to protect the people.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not
People
how
are
it is.
fucking people are just they're just rude, man.
So, and that's why this decision is so damn legendary. You got 9-0 on this decision, which is such a divisive topic to
Divisive.
begin with.
Right.
Okay, it is so
Hoopy.
divisive.
You see what Hoopy did?
Yeah, he needs a
What?
what?
Are you kidding me?
No. Yeah,
Okay, so that's a first for me. What the hell? Really?
yeah.
You have to have a firearm in order to have a
Oh, there's states where if you have a blade that's over X amount long, you can't.
California's one of them.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about it last show when you were saying that you were carrying a pocket knife, as all young boys used to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Sorry, brother.
the times have changed. People change. You know, it's one of those things where no one's willing to stand up to it. Everyone gives a little to play. You know, let's just
Nope.
get
Forget
along
it.
to play along.
The only
You
way
know?
you're getting mine is if I'm fucking 6 feet in the ground.
Well, no, it's just it's stuff to, you know. Well, does it
It's
really
just
matter? That is it really that big of a deal? And you concede a little bit, you concede a little bit, and the next thing you know, the concessions have gone from this to now it's this, and that's what it is. That's how they play it. Um, take HOAs, okay? What was the main purpose of an HOA when they first come up with the idea? Hey, we want to keep our neighborhood looking good. We don't want to have a bunch of shit everywhere. We want people to, you know, want to be part of the community and da da da. And what happened? You got a bunch of freaking Karens out there that dictate what color your damn house is and whether or not your trash can is at a 45-degree angle the wrong way. And oh, you left it out there 5 minutes too long after the trash man came by. And it just snowballed from there because no one had the balls to go up to him and go, listen.
Or like Sis's place back home, where you had to have X amount of freaking trees and shrubs.
Right. Yeah. If we don't see that many, yeah. Well, that's the same way with businesses out here. When you have a business, you have to get all the licenses and everything, and you have to have, in that licensing, to have the business, you've agreed to have so many shrubs, so many plants, so many this, so many that. And if you don't, and if someone comes out and looks at it, they'll fine you for it.
Yep.
And it's like,
that's why I'll never live in New York. I'll never live in California. I won't live in Maine, or not Maine, but
Massachusetts?
No, Maryland. I'll never live in those states until they come around and be the right freaking people, which we'll probably never see in our life, anyways. But I mean, we're starting to see some. We're starting to see some of it come around, but
we are seeing some of it.
We'll probably never see the full extent of it, but
maybe it really depends on how the next couple of years go with the ATF and even the Supreme Court with some of the decisions, because they've.
Well, I could tell you the ATF guy that's in there right now.
Yeah,
he is just phenomenal.
Well, the Supreme Court has been shying away from Second Amendments. They'll pull in all of your First Amendment bullshit day in and day out. They love going to town with that. Okay, they love having that in front of them. But when it comes to the Second Amendment, they shied away from it. Well, now it seems like they're being more apt to have it pull in front of them, so that they are being forced to make decisions. Is it or is it not unconstitutional? Where before they were like, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to talk about it. We're going to let the lower courts do this, that, or the other. Now it's like, let's get that shit in front of them so that we can actually do it. And that was the other problem with some of the rulings with the states and everything. Supreme Court didn't want to hear it. They would not have it brought in front of them. Why? Well, because it was too much of a hassle. They didn't want to piss the wrong people off, and so on and so forth.
That's where it's at, right there.
It's all politics. Where First Amendment stuff, hey, the right to be able to talk out your ass and have no consequences. All right, well, okay, we can all agree that being able to talk out your ass and not have consequences is a fundamental right. Okay? It is.
It's a freedom of speech. It's the way it is.
Absolutely. Now,
same thing with the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and
they didn't want to
hear 4th, 5th, and 16th, whatever. It's all the same shit, man. It's an amendment. It's there for a freaking reason.
It is.
Protect the people.
But it wasn't getting in front of the Supreme Court like it should.
It should never get in front of the fucking Supreme Court. It's just a basic human right, man.
It does need to get in front of the Supreme Court, because you're going to have people that are going to stomp on it and put it into law, and the Supreme Court needs to come in and go, your law is unconstitutional, remove it. If you don't get it in front of the Supreme Court...
I agree with that to a certain extent. But yes, I understand.
States have to be able to do their own laws. You cannot have the government making all of the laws.
Right.
That poses a whole different set of issues. States need to have their own set of laws and everything. The Supreme Court comes in and goes, hey, this particular law, that particular requirement is unconstitutional. You need to remove that.
Right.
Individual states do have the ability
you got to have that, because otherwise each individual state can just
circumnavigate the entire thing, and
absolutely right,
they end
right,
up
right.
being their own little country within a country.
Gotcha. Yep.
So
So the Supreme Court that resides over the whole country should be able to
they make sure that
nullify some shit.
right, they make sure that the laws that are in place are being adhered to. And yeah, you can't necessarily step out of bounds with some of these, but you're still allowed to have certain laws within your own state, within your own county, your own city municipality, and stuff like that, in order to make sure that you
Right.
know that stuff works. Um, as long as it doesn't step out of line with the
I guess
constitutional rights and amendments.
I guess what my point being is what should be as far as our constitutional amendments for first, second, fifth, 16th, fourth, whatever.
Yeah,
It should be across the whole board. It should be across every fucking state.
and that's
And
the way it's
then
supposed to be.
and then the fucking states could go, okay, well, it doesn't really affect our constitutional here, but this is what it needs to be here. But either way, it
And that's
all sort of affects the constitutional stuff. So they have to kind of find
yeah.
it's a fine line to tread. So I get it to an extent.
Well, here's the other thing: is you have you have 100 people that live in the community, okay? And theoretically, the Supreme Court has a ruling, or the Constitution is set in place, okay? And the 100 people that live in that community go, "Hey, cool, uh, we want to do this. Does it break this law or rule or anything?" Nope. Okay, cool. Now we can do it. We're going to put this into place, and everything should be honky dory. Well, the problem you have is you have the community of 100 people, and some of them have been drinking the purple Kool-Aid, and they have decided that we want to make this law in our community. So they get together, and 70 of them, okay, 70 out of the 100 say, we're going to do this. Well, the other 30 are like, no. And they're like, well, bring it to court. So what court can you bring it to first? Local. Because that it has to go up the chain. You can't
Sure.
go straight to the Supreme Court. It has to go up the chain. So they bring it up to the local court, and the local court goes, pound sand.
Right.
And also, you owe us money for bringing this frivolous lawsuit into court, and da 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 da. So now you got to pay them. Well, of course, that lower court, okay, that you initially go to, out of the community, 70 of them are going to be against you because you're only 30. Well, now you got to bring it up to the next higher court, right? Next higher court happens to be maybe it's 60 out of, or 6,000 out of 10,000 that are leaning the same kind of direction that the 70 out of the 100. Well, guess what? You go to that line, and they go, no, we're going to ride with the lower court. Or, yeah, that's something we don't want to pay attention to. You're just going to have to deal with it. That's how it piles up long term. And that's why it takes time and it takes money and to get all the way up to the Supreme Court, because you have to go through each level and get denied at that level, and then you bring it to the next level. Get denied at that level, you bring it to the next level. It's all bullshit. And you're right, it shouldn't be that way. It should just be, is it against the Constitution or not? No? Then good. If it is, can't do it. But that's not how it works.
Right.
Because you have
Well,
these
they based everything just like they have everything else. They based it all off of fucking money. It's how can they put money in their fucking pockets?
oh yeah. Well, it's also control. Okay.
Well, oh yeah, for sure.
The main thing is always going to be control. And it's all bullshit. You know it, I know it, people know it, but you got people that oh, I don't agree with that, so it's not going to be that way. Like, you don't have control over that. Well, actually, they do because they got 70 of their buddies to side with them. Okay? It's all nonsense, but that's just the way it works. So,
Right. Let's see. Just like First Amendment, you have the right to say anything
so
that becomes dangerous. Example, yelling fire in a building and there is no. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that.
okay.
The federal government wants it handled at the lowest level possible and not be bothered with everything.
Now you're forgetting rule number 1. When you're reading off the chat,
Roger.
you gotta say, "Hey, Roger had this to say." Because we had Jen bring it up to us and go, "Hey, look, you guys are reading off the chat, but you're not saying, who said what." And sometimes we get
my bad.
To Jen.
My
Sorry.
bad.
She actually had a very good point on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the whole. Do I need to turn the brightness up or something? I don't know. It just says I'm fuzzy. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I am fuzzy.
You're all messed up.
Yep.
You're still a little fuzzy. Like your smile's coming in perfect though. No. Now it's all blurry.
Well, screw it. I'm just gonna be fuzzy tonight.
Nope. No,
So
that's better.
You were fuzzy?
No, wasn't me.
So
sounds like a song.
Wasn't me. That would have been Shaggy.
Shaggy, there it is.
Roger says that he's going through the shit trying to get his permit in Maryland right now. It is a pain in the ass. Oh, yeah. Anything on the East Coast is. Especially in the Northeast East Coast.
Fuck that, dude. I tell you what, I love the fact that I moved here because it's pretty much the same as Arizona.
Just be glad you're not on the other side of the border in the other Virginia. Them fuckers are losing their mind.
Hey, Jen. Didn't even know you were here.
Thanks for reading it. See, I told you. Yeah. So Roger says the first thing he had to do was get authorization to get a firearm, and then he could get the permit. See, that's not the way.
No, fuck no.
So, all right,
dude, it's literally if you're not a fucking felon and
all right,
you should be able to get a firearm. Period.
So let's go over some of the stuff that the ATF has said. Okay, because they had 34 of them come out. I got, I think, 5 of them here. Okay. So they had 5 categories. Okay. Modernize was category number 1. Reduce the burden was category number 2. Repeal was category number 3. Clarify, category number 4. And then align was category number 5. So with modernize, okay, that is updating the ATF's compliance and record-keeping framework to reflect current technology and business practices. Basically, what that means is you don't have to have everything on paper because we have electronic record keeping now. And with electronic record keeping, it is now available across the board and to be shared relatively quickly. We don't have to fax anymore. Okay. Like some places, I need you to send me a letter and then send me a fax number so that we can fax this information to you. It's like, I got freaking email, dude. Yeah, and then we need a mailing address so we can mail a CD to you.
Yeah,
it's like,
who the fuck has faxes anymore?
There are municipalities that still require that. It's like, are you kidding me? So yeah.
Update your shit.
Well, that's what the ATF is saying is, hey, we no longer are going to require the antiquated means of transporting information. We're going to get with the modern times and we're going to have it streamlined across the board. So that's what the modernized aspect of it was. And then you have a reduced burden. Okay. That's going to be eliminating administrative requirements that impose costs on law abiding individuals and businesses. Okay. They have several examples here. Okay. But what that, basically says is here's an example. I have an NFA item. Okay. So maybe a can. Okay. I have that NFA item. It is under me. My spouse technically previously could not be in the same room with it unless I was in the room. That's the way it was written. Okay. On top of that,
So you're saying you would have to put your can somewhere that she would never ever dream of going
no,
unless you were in there with her.
what it meant was if I left it on the kitchen table,
She
okay,
couldn't go in the fucking kitchen table.
if I wasn't home.
That's fucking stupid. It's the same
Oh,
scenario where if you put it in a specific bedroom, that means she couldn't go in there
unless I was there.
for any reason, whether it was to make the bed, clean the fucking
Yep.
carpets, dust it, nothing. She couldn't be in there unless you were there.
It's an NFA item and it was assigned directly to me, which is
Eh, eh, eh,
it's a controlled item.
okay, but let me say this because I don't want to be like the fucking misogynist fucking pig here. It could be the other way around. Okay, guys.
Oh, it could be.
She doesn't have
Absolutely.
to be. She doesn't have to be the one cooking clean. Oh, I'm
She
just saying.
she
She
could
had
put
to.
it she could put it in the bathroom, and if I needed to go take a deuce,
You had to go find the other bathroom if you had another bathroom.
although that outside. But the point is that they are seeing and understanding that with certain things, it could be the spouse could have the same rights as the actual signee on it without so and they're getting all the framework and getting all the verbiage laid out. It hasn't gotten there yet, but this is part of what they were talking about. Getting rid of the burden of bullshit like that. Did you freeze? No, you're
No,
reading. What are you reading?
I'm
Uh,
not. Oh
Ro-
yeah, I was.
under the Constitution, Roger says under the Constitution's supremacy clause, federal law is the supreme law of the land. Absolutely. Overrides conflicting state law. Absolutely. If it does not conflict with the Constitution or federal law, the state is allowed to impose their own laws. That is a right of the state as long as it doesn't conflict. Now, if they do put a law into effect that does conflict, you then have to take it up the chain in order to get in front of the Supreme Court in order for them to knock it down. And that's what states like New York, Illinois, California, Washington, okay, have put into place is even Colorado. They put these laws in place thinking, okay, well, it's going to have to go up the chain before it ever gets to the Supreme Court. So we can run amok for a little while.
Right.
And maybe people won't take it that far because you know what? Who's got the money to go through the different levels and then get it to the Supreme Court? Who's got the time? Who's got the effort? Are they even going to do it? Because here's the thing, you get pulled over by a cop, right? And write you a ticket because you were making a left hand turn and instead of staying behind the line, behind the crosswalk, okay, you pulled out so that you can make that left hand turn a little quicker, a little easier, and less likely to get hit. Well, you pulled across the line, and now we're going to write you a ticket because you were. It's like, all right, well, the law on the book says I have to stay behind the crosswalk, even though everyone and their mother will cross that crosswalk to make that left across oncoming traffic so they don't have to go as far and they're less likely to be impeding traffic when the light turns. So it's all about that whole who's got the time, who's got the money, who's got the effort, who's got the, it's like, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to pay the ticket. That's the context behind it. And let's see here. The other one is repeal. Okay. The repeal is rescinding regulatory language that exceeds statutory authority, failed judicial review, or did not achieve their intended outcomes. So one of the big ones was the pistol brace. Okay. It is a stabilizing brace for the pistol so that you have better control over it. ATF in the past has said that the brace, if it was used in the wrong way, it could be used. You effectively took a pistol and made it into a short-barreled rifle. Okay. I think the whole damn thing, personally, is asinine. Whether it's a rifle or if it's a pistol, or if by putting a brace on it turns it into a short-barreled rifle. Look, honestly, if you can do it and make the firearm more stable to use so that the person that is firing the damn thing is more accurate and less likely to hit a target that is unintended, such as maybe an innocent bystander or, a vehicle that is in the background, and they miss because they weren't as steady. I think the whole argument there is BS to begin with. And I think they're coming around to that. Why are you making something illegal that is going to allow someone to be more accurate and be able to hit the target they were intending to in the first place? Anyway, that's what the repeal aspect of it is. Clarify, which is the fourth thing that they're working on, is resolving regulatory ambiguity to provide licenses, applicants and their public with clear, consistent, and actionable guidance. Okay. Let's see here. One of them was clarifying firearm possession obligations during common carrier travel. Okay. If I had an NFA and I wanted to go from my state into a neighboring state, before I could take that NFA item from my state into that other state, I would have to call the ATF and let them know that I planned on traveling out of the current state where I had my NFA item and into another state where the NFA item is. You just use your finger. It's so loud.
Sorry.
But yeah, they're clarifying certain things where we know you have the NFA. So going into another state that's a neighboring state, you don't need to contact the ATF in order to let them know that you're going to be going into there unless it's a permanent move. If you're just going to go there for the week or the month or whatever and just,
or just passing through.
Yeah, or just passing through, you don't need to let them know. Okay. So there's going to be, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I think there's 12, 11 or 12 of them underneath clarify. And as these actually get published and made more definitive in their verbiage, as they come out, I'm going to be going into more in depth on them. They still haven't come out with the definitive verbiage on any of these. And then with the line, it's conforming ATF's regulatory text to reflect statutory changes, judicial decisions, and actions taken by partner agencies. ATF was just going amok. They were just doing their own damn thing. There would be a law on the books, and the ATF would go, we got a rule, and we're going to go off of our rule, even though it's against what that law may have said. Okay? And you would get in trouble by the ATF, even though you couldn't get in trouble by the law that was on the book. So it's kind of like dad says, yeah, that's fine. And then mom comes in and says, yeah, dad may have said it was fine, but I don't think so. And whoops your ass for it anyway.
Yeah, which one do you fucking go with?
Exactly. They need to have a solid front. Okay. They need to be on the same damn page. And people are going, well, the
Who
law
would you
says
go
that,
with?
well,
Pops or mom?
I would go with mom because I know that even though pops hits harder, if I disobeyed mom, even though dad said it was okay, if I disobeyed mom,
Mom's way of thinking is,
she's gonna walk up to dad and go, fix him, and he's gonna walk up and go, I'm sorry, I know I told you this, but your mom said this, and be like, but you said this. Trump
I was
card.
wrong. Sorry,
Yep.
son.
Yep. You get your ass whooped. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it hurts me.
Well,
Because if I don't do it, it's going to hurt me a lot more than. Anyway.
this is a woman that could fucking hit you without you even knowing she hit you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this is exactly what I said. She can hit you without her knowing that she even hit you, because she has no idea what happened.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom.
Still tread lightly with that one.
Yeah.
Still tread lightly with that one. All right. So with the align with the regulatory text and making sure that they're in line with the statutory changes and stuff like that. They're codifying the NICS background check requirements for NFA firearm making applications. Other stuff is, hey, guess what? If it passes the background check on this one, they don't need to have a secondary background check to go and check the other thing.
No.
So they're like, because previously, if you pass a background check, you had to go get permission to go do this other thing. It's like, hold up.
Wait,
I already passed all the background check. Why do I have to do it again? Well, that's what they're getting away from. Is they're getting away from the unnecessary double speak, the double background checks and stuff like that. And as they get more in line with the other regulations and stuff like that, and as they quantify it by putting it in writing, what each one actually means, which is what they're doing, then we'll have a better understanding of what these are. Now,
well, I think that's kind of the whole scenario. Is I should say a big part of that is it's making it easier for people to understand up front what is going on.
Right. So take, for example, the modernization of Form 4473, which is the firearms transaction record. Okay. It's to update the regulations for digital modern business practices. This initiative aims to streamline identifying residency verification, enabling electronic forms and auto population to extend the validity of the NICS background checks. Uh, the key aspects of this is to make your electronic focus. The rule would formally authorize the use of electronic forms. You don't have to have all the paper forms and keep them for X amount of time anymore. You can put them as an electronic form.
Like 6-7 years, whatever.
Oh no, they were doing it like 30 years. They've actually brought it down to or they're trying to bring it down to like 20 now, which is still to have your FFL keep something for record for 20 years, even if he goes out of business. Your FFL guy goes out of business, stops, no more business. He still has to retain those records for 30 plus years.
Well, and I think that's why the motherfuckers that did do that had a fire.
And
because if the fire now exempts them from having to fucking keep them ready.
No, they were still getting in trouble. You allowed them to burn. You did not, or if you went out of business, you had to take them and give them to the ATF. That was the other thing. They were requiring you, hey, we know you got all this. You're out of business. Why don't you just hand it over to us? We'll keep it for you. And now they've got a record of who's got what and this, that, and the other thing. Anyway, streamlined verification. Changes are designed to simplify the identification, residency verification process for the buyers. Okay, I come in, I've got my driver's license. I tell you that my address on the license is good. I also show you my concealed carry. Those right there should be enough and go. Well, they were saying, hey, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. It's like jumping through hoops to verify that you actually live where you say you live. Now, right. Taking that and
never mind the fucking fact that the state fucking issued me an ID with the fucking license on it, and the CCW has my address on it. They're requiring more than that.
Yes, the ATF was requiring more than that. Now they're saying
that's fucking stupid.
Well, that's where they're looking at it, going, yeah, we're gonna get rid of some of the BS, and we're gonna get where it needs to be at. Again, the ATF previously was going off the rails. They were
making, they want? A fucking phone bill or an electric bill on top of it?
Whatever they asked for.
That's fucking dumb.
Yep. And this is what they were doing, is they were making their own rules, their own regulations, even though it may not have been in line with the state or even the federal government. Extended NICS validity. The proposal would double the time period for which a national instant criminal background check system check remains valid, reducing the need for rechecks. So if I went and I had a background check done 6 months ago, okay, I didn't have to go and get another one. Okay. It extended it a little bit longer. Okay. California, every time you walked in, you would have to get a background check. Why? I just had one last week. It's a new purchase.
Well, and I guess I can understand that to an extent, because that's kind of on the day-to-day basis, sort of.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
Because I could have fucking. I could have done something within the 6 or 8 months to create an issue where I would not be eligible for.
When you hand them your concealed carry permit, okay, they can look at the concealed carry permit, show that it is still valid, and they hand you whatever it is they're handing you. Okay. When you commit a crime within those 6 or 8 months, like you were saying, the state goes and they say this concealed carry permit is no longer valid.
Right, but there are exceptions to that to an extent
Such as?
because it could just
They have to, when you hand them your concealed carry permit,
right.
they have to
What I'm
verify
saying
that
is
it's still
it
valid.
takes time. It takes time, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. But it also takes time for them to process that
It doesn't.
information.
It
It
doesn't.
shouldn't. No, it shouldn't.
No.
By any means.
It doesn't take time to do that. California was utilizing that to hem you up and saying, oh, we're going to do another background check. And then background checks only take a couple hours, right? Well, that's where they were using 3 to 5 days. So
Right,
this
but
is
some things may not get into the system as fast as that. Is all
that
I'm saying.
that doesn't matter. If I do the check and I do it correctly, okay, if it hasn't hit the system yet, that's on the people with the system. That is not on me. That is not on
No. I agree with that.
And it's not on the people at the place that you're buying the firearm either.
Sure, I agree with that too.
Okay, so they have to be able to rely on the system in place. If I hand you my driver's license and my concealed carry, and I am allowed to buy the pistol, based off of that, they run the license, everything's good. They run the concealed carry, everything comes back good right then and there, which takes no time at all at that point. Then they hand me the pistol. If I don't have a concealed carry, I have to do a background check. Okay. I do the background check. Boom, boom. It takes 2 hours. They go, okay, here you go. Here's your pistol. Off you go. Bob's your uncle. Now, I come back 2 days later, a week later, and I want to buy another one. They can use that same background check. All right. Well, California was going, no. Every purchase needed to have one. Every purchase was that 3 to 5 day waiting period or 7 day waiting period. And it was just compiling it. This here, what they're doing now is they're saying, no, if they have a background check, they've already done it, it can be extended. You can use that same background check for however long it was. You know, whether if it was a 1 month, okay, they can use it for twice as long. Okay. Whatever the limit was initially. And that's what we're waiting on is for the verbiage to come out. So with that, they are allowing for the actual NCS check to remain valid, reducing the need for the rechecks. Okay. Where the state was going, we're just going to keep rechecking you every time. Oh, and by the way, every time we do the background check, you got to pay us 60 or 70 or $120, whatever they want to charge.
Right. 30, 40, $50, $60.
Depending on the state.
Right.
Record retention, the proposal includes defining set record retention periods for the forms. Okay. And it could be electronic also. You have to keep them for X amount of time. But you don't have to necessarily keep them as paper. You can turn them into electronic and still keep them. So that's where some of the actual cool things with the modernization comes in, is bringing everything up to date, bringing everything up to speed. Where, hey, I need to go take a look at, what this 1920s newspaper said. All right, well, go down to the airport and go find the microfiche and click through all that until you find it. Well, now it's been brought into the modern age, which is electronic, and you don't have to go to the library and look at microfiche or go to the county courthouse and flip through pages. They've actually taken it and actually put it all onto an electronic form for easier access. And that's what the ATF is doing, is coming up to that standard of the easier access modernization deal.
So I haven't done any research, Roger, but at what point did West Virginia require a permit?
So Georgia, you don't need to have a concealed carry permit in order to carry. It's a constitutional carry.
From what I understand, currently at this point, West Virginia is the same way.
Correct. However, if you want to get the permit so that you have, all right, I have the permit, Georgia's constitutional carry. I have a permit for the mere fact that I went through the process of getting the permit. Why? Because if I get pulled over, I hand them my license, I hand them my permit, and I say, here you go. And they go, oh, well, he went through the process of going through the background check to get the permit, which means that he is more so on the up and up than someone else that just said, screw it, I'm just going to carry. They can rely on that you are more of an upstanding citizen typically than someone that doesn't. It just makes certain things a little easier on my end. And it puts them at ease a little bit more so than someone that is not permitted. Okay. Also on my end, I go in and I want to buy a pistol. Okay. I don't have to go do the background check. I just hand them my license because it's already been through the background check. They just have to run the license and make sure it's still valid. As long as it's still valid, they can hand me the firearm. I walk out the door 10 minutes later. I do it for me. I do it so that when and if and when I do get pulled over, I hand them both and they go, okay, yes, he is armed. And yes, he does have a concealed carry permit. So they've already done a background check on him. He's already cleared to have it without any issues at all. We're not as on edge with the fact that he's got a pistol. I am doing it for me and I'm doing it for the officer. I understand coming up on someone and they've got a firearm. How much on the up and up are they? I'm in a constitutional carry place. Great. Okay, fine. I respect that. But I'm going to be a little bit more cautious around that individual and maybe a little bit more antsy than I would be if someone handed me a permit that's already gone through background checks. I'm just trying to diffuse a situation that doesn't need to be fused. I'm going to defuse it as much as I can on my end. That's why I do it. You don't have to do it that way. I understand why to do it and why I do it. You don't have to go that route with it.
I understand it.
Okay. When it comes time for my concealed carry to expire, yes, I have to go and I have to pay to have it, just and it's not even a full background at that point that I'm paying for. It's only a partial to make sure that there's nothing else that popped up. So I don't have to pay as much. Now, if I let it lapse completely, I have to pay the full amount.
I'm just trying to process it. That's all.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing.
Now, I'm not saying I don't understand because I do. But go ahead.
I have a concealed carry. A concealed carry has that it's reciprocal to go to other states that have a concealed carry. For instance, I can go to Florida with my license and still carry. I can go into Tennessee with my license and still carry. Okay. Not all states are constitutional carry. But because I have my license that says I can carry in Georgia concealed, another state that is not constitutional carry, that has the reciprocal viewpoint, I can carry in that state now because I have a license. Where if I went, oh, I'm constitutional carry in Georgia, and I went into that state and they're like, we don't recognize constitutional carry, you can get put in jail for that. That's another reason that I have my license, so that I can carry in the other states that acknowledge the Georgia concealed carry. So it is more than just, hey, I'm trying to put people at ease. It's also for me, if I go out of state, and I do go out of state, I hit, Alabama, or I go to Florida, or I go to Tennessee, I go to North or South Carolina. Okay. I want to be able to travel those and still be safe. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And not have the local law enforcement go, hey, you're not legal here. Actually, I am legal because I have this, and you guys recognize it. So go pound sand, copper. And, oh yeah, Roger says it right here. In other words, whatever the freaking word is, carry in other states and not have to, get permits in that state you were in because they recognize it. And okay, open carry. Okay, that's where you have it on your hip and everyone can see that you have it on your hip. Some states don't like open carry.
Right.
Some states, you're not allowed to open carry.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of open carry. For me. Okay. I'm not one that's going to be running around like Wyatt Earp and everyone knows that I got a pistol on me. Why? Well, I want the guy over there who is open carry to be the first target so that I have time to react. Okay? I don't want to be the initial first target. I'm already a target as it is. I'm a white male that most people can pick out either prior military or possible law enforcement as it is, just because of the way that I carry myself in general. Okay. I'm already a target in that aspect. I want the guy that's open carry, I want him to take more of the heat off of me to give me more time to react. Kind of selfish on my part. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want people to know.
Yeah. They don't need to know that I am carrying unless I want them to. So that's the way I feel about that.
The only way you're going to know is because it's going to be out and about.
Mm-hmm. And if I got it out,
it's because you're getting the front end of it.
Yeah. If I got it out, there's a reason it's out. And someone's not going to be happy. I appreciate that, Roger. Because I am a sexy white male. A bearded sexy white male that's fat. So
not me. No beard here no more. Got rid of it.
But as the ATF comes out with more definitive verbiage for all of this, I think that is I'll be bringing those more to the table. Like, hey, look, they actually defined what this means, and this is not just speculation anymore on what we think it's going to say. This is actually what it does say now. Now, the one thing that I thought was pretty cool was out of all of the new regulations that they came for, ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, everything with the firearms portion of it was moving in the correct direction, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I agree.
What went the complete opposite way was tobacco. Um,
Go fucking figure, right?
Instead of being able to have 60,000 units of a tobacco product, and I think it was like 60,000 cigarettes, I think they lowered it down to like 20,000. So you couldn't transport uh, 60,000 cigarettes anymore. You could only transport 20,000 cigarettes. Honestly, uh, I don't have an opinion on it either way when it comes to the tobacco side of it. Um, but I can understand why someone would have a negative opinion on it in the aspect of, well, what if they said 60,000 bullets and they dropped it down to 20,000 bullets? Be like, I think that's bullshit. But, you know, so it's the whole regulation of it, I think that I have an issue with. But if I'm being honest, I don't have a dog in that race as far as the tobacco aspect of it goes. Alcohol, I have a dog in that race, obviously. Firearms, I have a dog in that race,
Amen.
obviously. But when it comes to tobacco, I don't anymore. Um, I used to smoke for a really long time, and I just quit. I said, "Fuck it, I'm done." So,
Still working on it.
yeah. Um, ATF is getting better, but still have a long way to go. Absolutely agree with that, Roger. They do have a long way to go, but they're actually making the right steps right now. They're moving in that direction. So,
I would say currently, yes.
yeah, um, we can only go and expect so much all at once. Otherwise, it might be a knee jerk reaction and then they got to rein it back in. So, if we do quantifiable steps in the right direction, I think we're able to continue moving with those quantifiable steps and make sure that we stay in line with laws and regulations and, you know, keep going in that way instead of, hey, we're going to move all of this all at once and then all of a sudden, no, we went too far and then they remove it and it just causes a lot of issue. So, but I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say about, you know, some of the FRTs, the force reset triggers, and how those play out. I want to look more into the NFA items in general, such as, you know, people want bump stocks. You know, they want to look at that. They want to look at the braces for pistols, and you know, again, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, if it makes it safer, if it makes it so that you are able to hit your target, why the hell wouldn't you want a pistol brace? You know? And what the hell is the difference between a short barreled rifle and a rifle to begin with? I think they're just grasping at straws in order to make new laws and regulations and bullshit like that. You know, 16-inch barrel, 18-inch barrel, 20-inch barrel. The longer the barrel, typically the more accurate it is. But in certain circumstances, having that long ass barrel is not the reason for the rifle. You know, and yeah, like, oh, the firepower. Okay, then why are we allowed to have a, you know, a Smith and Wesson 500?
Exactly.
You know, um, the firepower, the penetrating power. Well, okay, well, 357 magnums, 44s. You know, you can go so many different directions with, you know, the different calibers and stuff. It's like, let's just be you know, adults about it, and firearm is a firearm. And maybe one day they'll get rid of the BS when it comes to being able to own a machine gun. Not that I personally want one. That's just a waste of ammo, as far as I'm concerned. I've been a machine gunner in the military. Um,
Well,
yeah,
that's what they call spray and pray.
but that's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I am more of someone that is more conservative with my ammo. I want to make every shot count because I don't want to run out.
Right.
So. Huh. Looks like Roger may have found a clock and ordered it, but had to send it back because it was broken and now wanting a new one, or waiting on a new one. So, um, what do you got going on here in the future? You got anything crazy going on? You been looking at times to go out west?
No. Yes.
Well,
Currently, I'm in the process of trying to find a time to come out your way
okay.
and go out that way. So,
All right. Well, just remember that either one of them, get with me because I need to have time.
Yep.
Must be 30 days or more. So I got to be a month out.
Yep.
So, and I get it. You may not be able to do that, and maybe I can do. We'll get it figured out. I'm looking at diving more into the ATF and more into the regulations as they become more solidified, because it's kind of interesting to me how they're backtracking on some of the stuff they put out there, and getting more in line with state and federal regulations, where in the past they were making their own shit up. I'm kind of glad that they're being wrangled by the new head of the ATF and going, hey, we've definitely overstepped our bounds and we shouldn't have this, that, or the other. So, yeah.
I agree.
So I like that. I'm kind of looking forward to that, I guess you could say. It's like, hey, let's get this shit back in line. Outside of that, just work, doing some stuff around the house, a little bit here, a little bit there, and just making things happen. So, anything else on your end? Fishing lately?
When the weather's clear,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them where you're catching hand-sized ones. You got any bigger ones yet?
Yeah.
No? Just a little handy ones?
Yeah, just some bluegill. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. They're fish. Take the hook out, throw it back in the water. Big mouth.
That's it.
But cool.
Nope.
Outside of that,
Nope.
just been a week. Been a week of interesting things and teaching people stuff, and every now and again giving me a glass of whiskey and sipping on it for a couple hours. Mama T finally decided to join in. I wonder what she's been doing all day.
Yeah.
I know she's at mom and dad's for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I've got nothing else. You got anything else going on? I think we're good. I mean, hell, we've been running our mouth for 2 hours now. So, good solid 2 hours.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, pink pottery. Well, that's nice. Well, sis, you're just going to have to catch us on the rewind, because we're getting ready to get out of here. Thank you all for showing up. Roger, sis, Shelly, Probably Wayne was there too.
Yep.
Yeah, he was probably sitting there.
Pops.
Jen, Pops, we appreciate y'all coming in. Um, yeah. Again, if you guys have topics that you want us to cover, uh, throw it our way. I mean, he's got his interests, I've got my interests. A lot of times they overlap, sometimes they don't, but we're not too proud to take on a subject that we have no idea what we're talking about, and just
That's
doing a
right.
little bit of research. Uh, I like some of the space stuff. I know some of y'all think that space is fake and we've never been to the moon, but uh, I still like to look into it and see how it all works and everything. I kind of understand how certain things supposedly work out in the universe. Who knows? Maybe it's all fake and we've been lied to, but I kind of understand the lies, so fuck it. I'll explain it to you if I understand it. Um, Again, security stuff I know a little bit about. Uh, Military know a little bit about. Chris knows a little bit about, cars, brakes, oil pans, apparently. How not to get a bunch of shit in your oil.
Uh, I know a
Well,
little bit.
I mean, I'm no expert, but damn, I know a little bit too. My leg, my leg is screwed, to be honest. Uh, it still hurts a lot. I am, I've got a tendon tear, and that muscle is just constantly feels like someone's taken a small hot poker and just holding it there. And I'm trying to get it to heal. I'm able to walk on it without crutches or without a cane or anything. Um, I'm not running, but I'm walking, going up and down steps, up and down stairs, ladders, stuff like that. But yeah, no softball for the immediate future, which kind of sucks because I was enjoying it. Um, I was enjoying being out there and getting active again. It's been a while since I've been able to do something like that. It sucks when you're trying to be active by yourself. It's better when you're trying to be active with other people and whatnot. So um, just ain't got no one nearby to be active with uh, locally. So I was trying to go and be active, with a group of, I'd say, people my age or older, and ended up hurting myself. So let it heal. It's going to take a couple of months for it to really solidify, and hopefully, maybe I'll be able to do the fall softball. But yeah, that quadricep uh, tendon tear sucks. I'm just glad it wasn't a full rupture. Probably would have been, I guess, better in one hand if it was a rupture, because then you got to have surgery and then you got the whole boot and cast and all that other stuff, and it's just a mental thing. Where right now it doesn't look like anything's wrong until I move separately or differently, and just the pain in my leg. So it is what it is. Outside of that, everything else is good. So, but yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to call it a night. If you guys please, the intro, the outro, Poopy Star. If you guys want something for, maybe to start your own channel or whatnot, let me know. We'll get you hooked up with him. He'll be able to get you something, and we'll go from there. But outside of that, just take care of yourselves, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones, and try not to do what I do and go too long without making a damn phone call. I know that's what I do. Sometimes it's busy with life and I don't make the call, as often as I should, and just let life get away and just give your loved ones a hug and tell them you love them. So, and you?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all have a good night. And again, we do not leave this show without seeing our friend here.
know how many of you are familiar with the .577 T-Rex round. Today I'm going to shoot it. That was amazing.
Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And be well. Talk to you later.
Have a good night, guys.